Welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast. It is another off-season episode, and we have had a lot of news this season, this off-season. And you know what? The latest news is that we're going to have another figure skating discipline at the Olympics, which is Synchro9. I don't know anything about synchronized skating, and so I am bringing in an expert in the world of synchronized skating, Cindy Kim. She's the head coach of Team Image Junior, and she's also a national champion because she was on the Haydenettes for a number of years. And she's also teaching Team Korea how to do Synchro9. Cindy, how are you?
Good. How are you, Jackie? Thanks for
I'm
having me
good.
on.
I'm good. It also turns out that we both went to the same business school, and we
That's
were
right.
just like a year apart.
Yeah.
Before
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So we know the worlds that we live in, I think.
Yeah. You're a
Somewhat.
chief skate nerd, but I'm a little bit of a skate nerd as well. So,
Okay, well, I'm no skate nerd when it comes to synchronized skating. So one of the things that is heavy on my list is to learn synchro. But also what I'm hearing, and you're going to tell me more about this, is that traditional synchronized skating, the
Mhm.
16 skater synchro and the 12 skater synchro, is very different from the Synchro9 that is being introduced for the Olympics, and it's a fairly new development. So I want to just talk about the history of Synchro9, and synchronized skating in general. I mean, when I was growing up skating in the 90s, I think it was still called precision skating.
Precision. Yeah, that's right.
Um, the
Yeah,
first World Championships was in 2000, so
that's
it's
right.
a fairly new discipline, obviously, but also has a lot of history, given that, it's been around for 40, 50 years now,
That's right. Yeah.
but it's changed a lot. So tell me about it.
Where should I begin? I think synchronized skating or precision as it was called was started in Ann Arbor, Michigan by a team called the Hackettes. And back in the day, I think it was about 36 skaters on the ice.
36 skaters.
I mean, yes, it's a group sport.
That's like a really scary freestyle
It
session,
is. I don't
36.
think they were going that fast. I think it was a lot of crossovers and just making shapes. But since then, obviously, the number has whittled down over time as skating skills have increased and the sport has evolved. And so it went down, at one point when I was skating, when I was younger, it was 24, and then it became 20. And then now it's been 16 for a long time. We've been wanting to be as a discipline in the Olympics for decades and decades.
Hashtag
And
why not synchro?
yes, why not synchro? And the news this week, this past Tuesday, that it was included, or some version of synchronized skating was included, was an incredible, incredible achievement and milestone for the discipline. So, thank you to everybody who worked behind the scenes to get us there. But yes, it's a completely new format that even us in the synchronized skating world are learning and figuring out as we go. It's yeah, and I think the only reason we were able to get into the Olympics is because of the reduced number. But also there's a lot of other components as to why 9 makes sense for the future potentially. So, more audience friendly. We want to be more broadcast friendly. Smaller number of skaters on the ice creates more dynamic movement, shapes, speed, um, all things where we want to draw new audiences in. And also on a, I guess, worldwide participation level, be able to have more country participation in the sport because up until now, there have been a large handful of countries who can't field teams of 16.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard.
I mean, it's
So,
interesting, right? Like the history of synchro has been a lot of Finland and,
yes.
Sweden and the US has been sort of at the cusp for a long time. And
Yep.
now, the US has world medalists. And
Yeah.
you were very close to being a world medalist, I
I
believe.
was, yeah. Fourth 3 times in a row. So
I wish they had a world pewter medal.
Same, same.
So that the 9 will help with the formation of teams. I mean,
Yes.
we're just saying you were, helping Team Korea create a
Mhm.
Synchro9 team, and how's that process been?
It's been exciting because Korea has had 0 interest in synchronized skating up until this point, which is, understandable. I think
Yes.
they are
There's only so
pow
many resources, right?
right, and they are powerhouses in other disciplines like singles, but with the introduction, I think, of this sport into the Olympics, it gives a lot of countries a reason to participate in synchronized skating and a very tangible goal to work towards. So, yeah, we wanna get more Asia participation in particular. I know, China is really excited about Synchro9 and is working really hard on forming teams and becoming competitive. Obviously, I think Korea is really interested now. Traditionally, only Japan has been consistently involved in synchronized skating. They have a long history of it, but no other Asian countries have really participated. So it's an exciting time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about the growth. I'm also excited about, like, frankly, in my brain, I'm like, who are the skaters that we've known in the past who are gonna be like, this could be a way
Yeah.
for me to potentially get back into it potentially get on an Olympic team.
Yep.
Have you seen that kind of movement of, former or retired skaters or even current skaters who are just like, "Hey, this could be something that's interesting."
Yeah, I think so. It's another pathway to the Olympics for athletes, and I think we have yet to see how teams will be composed over time, and what the right composition is. I think some people are like, well, we'll just throw 9 incredible single athletes on a team and we're going to dominate.
And they're all gonna crash into each other.
Correct. Yes. So I think there's this common misconception right now that synchro is easy. You just get on the ice and skate together. But if you have at any point anybody who has tried synchro, it's incredibly, incredibly hard to skate with a lot of people around you while maintaining space, spatial awareness, executing elements, shapes, jumps, spins, whatever it may be. So,
I mean,
um,
we talk about this in pair skating a lot where,
yeah,
you've got 2 skaters who you see them do side by side jumps, like solo jumps, and they're perfectly fine. But
yeah,
when they go side by side, it becomes a whole different thing because,
yeah.
like you said, awareness of the other person, awareness of space,
Timing, uh-huh,
timing, all of that stuff.
yeah,
And you and I were talking about, like, a team of Synchro9 skaters doing a triple toe, which
yeah,
would be uh, it would it would explode my brain if I saw 9
me
people
too.
synchronized doing a triple toe.
I think
I
we're gonna see that at some point,
yeah,
honestly, maybe
yeah.
even this season from, some of these powerhouse countries, that are strong in singles, so
Now, Synchro9 is new, very new,
mhm, mhm,
like, so new that, like, most people in Synchro, I think, don't even really understand it quite yet.
yeah.
And we were talking about this before we came on the air. Uh, it started kind of as a way of thinking about, if I'm saying this correctly, synchro like a soccer team. Would you say
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of questions about how do we make synchro more dynamic and audience friendly and easy to understand. Synchro is so, so technical sometimes that for somebody, a layman watching the sport, it's really hard to understand what is happening and what's gaining points, what's losing points, and why. So accessibility is a big, I think, portion of why it's down to 9. But yes, I had heard that there's a FIFA member in the ISU
Colin Smith.
and Colin Smith, and the catalyst for thinking through the 9 number and this new elimination round slash battle format for the discipline came largely inspired from soccer and FIFA. So it's
It
kind of
was
cool.
so interesting last year at the World Championships when they were like, "Oh, and we're gonna have Synchro 9," and I'm like, "What?
What is that?
What is this thing?" And there was a Synchro9 exhibition during the gala,
That's
and
right.
I think they sort of put something together to
Mhm.
showcase what synchro could be. But also, we were saying that Synchro9 is gonna be very different than traditional synchro, not
Mhm.
only in the elements and the program formations and everything, but
Mhm.
also in the format, right? The judging system is IJS for Synchro 16, but tell me about the judging system for Synchro 9 and what it's supposed to be.
So we are not on an IJS system for Synchro9. It'll be a panel of 10 judges. 5 judges will be judging difficulty, and 5 judges will be judging artistry.
This is
So
very 6.0 feeling.
very 6.0, yeah. So I think when the idea was first floated and we were hearing about it, a lot of the commentary was, oh, if you skated or coached under 6.0, this new format will be a lot easier to understand
Hmm.
than if you grew up just doing IJS, this is very
Which
restrictive
is
and
which
very
is most of the
structured.
skaters these days, though.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
almost every skater these
that's
days.
true. Did I just reveal my age? um, yes, 10 judge panel of 10 judges. 25% of your score is for synchronization slash unison. 25% of the score is for difficulty, which is comprised of things like shapes, full team movements, difficulty features, patterns, etc. And that'll get weighted into that 25%. So that's part of the difficulty judges panel. For the artistry judges, 25% comes from originality, and the remaining 25% is for performance. So,
Originality.
originality,
Interesting.
creativity, innovation, all of that stuff, 50% of your marks are by the judges judging difficulty.
Got it.
Yeah. And 50% of your
So
mark is
okay,
from the
so
artistry
so
judges.
so synchronization and difficulty are your technical elements,
Technical, yes.
and then the originality and performance are your
Your
artistic
art,
elements.
correct. Yes.
And then there's no
Yeah.
component score.
No, we're not on IJS anymore. Totally different.
Oh, my brain's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And then they all add up to 100, or do they all add up to
Correct.
400?
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay,
So
well,
25, 25, 25, 25.
so you can get an A plus
That's right.
if you want.
Yep.
Um, it's interesting. I mean, we're all gonna be learning this over the next few years. When I was in Tenerife for ISU Congress, they were
Mhm.
like, "Oh, exciting news. We're getting close to getting synchro at the Olympics, but Synchro 9 is going to be at the 2028 Youth Olympics." And that
Yeah.
was in my brain, I was like, "Oh, you're really close to getting synchro into the Olympics
Yeah.
if you're hyping it up that much." I didn't realize it was gonna be like in a matter of weeks that
Right.
that it would come in.
Right.
Um, okay, talk to me about synchro in general. Those of us who know about figure skating
Mhm.
know that in synchro, there's a lot more skaters on the ice.
Yeah,
um,
that's a start.
and it's in my brain when I think about synchro, it's like a combination of some elements from pairs, some elements from dance, a lot of its own elements of like formations and creating different types of things and patterns and whatnot. I'm getting all my terminology wrong,
Yep.
but different kinds of things on the ice. If I were a person who watches a lot of singles, ice dance, and pairs, how would I think about synchronized skating as its own being?
Well, Synchro9 is meant to be really different than traditional Synchro. So I'll talk about it from a Synchro9 perspective and how I understand this to be. So Synchro, yes, is a combination of all the other 3 disciplines, singles, pairs, and dance. So you'll see a lot of elements from that in the program still. We obviously have a lot of people on the ice. And I think what people are going to look for in Synchro9 is a lot of uh, creativity in shapes, transitions, movement, acrobatics, lifts, tricks, which is an exciting component of synchronized skating, along with beautiful skating skills, along with performance, along with jumps and spins. So it's I think it has exciting components from each discipline all meshed in to one program. Um, and when teams are synchronized and they're executing fast elements and transitions, it is incredibly exciting to watch, especially in person. So, this new format is to allow audiences to understand synchro a little bit better as well and stay engaged.
Talk to me about skating skills, because you were saying when you and I first talked about synchronized skating that
Yeah,
synchro skating skills are very very strong.
yeah.
How would I, as a watcher of synchro,
Mhm.
determine skating skills and like how that comes into play?
There are a lot of ice dance elements and what makes good skating skills, in synchro similar to that discipline. So, you're looking for speed, flow, ankle knee bend, quality of edges and turns, um, body movements. Can you hold your balance while doing a lot of different choreography? And, and the powerhouse teams throughout the world, who are known for their skating skills, it's stunning to watch, because they're executing all of those features really, really, really well.
I'm excited to actually understand or try to understand
Mhm,
Synchro a little bit more and
mhm.
Synchro9, it's its own thing. What's the competition outlook gonna look like for this season and kind of later on? We haven't actually had a Synchro9 competition
No,
yet, right?
no.
Yeah,
W
okay.
we have only seen 3 Synchro9 programs yet, which
And they
are
were under the lights.
Under the Lights at Worlds. So those 3 teams gave us an incredible glimpse into the potential of the sport, but yeah, none of us have been to a competition, seen any other programs yet, so it's an open field of what to expect. There are 5 international competitions upcoming this season for Synchro9. The first one is gonna be, in Irvine, California, early November. Then in Finland in November, France at the end of January, Hungary in February, and then it culminates at Worlds, in April.
And
But
where's
this
Worlds?
Worlds is in Nottingham.
Nottingham.
Yeah, Nottingham, Great Britain. For this season, for senior, I believe only 8 countries/teams will be able to participate at Worlds for Synchro9, including the host country. So, we'll see 1 country per team.
Is that based on like World Synchros from last year or just like I don't know how that works.
I think it's an accumulation of points throughout the international season or
I see.
ranking through the international season. And then at the junior level, we're gonna see 6 teams at Worlds, 1 per country, including host nation. So
I, I'm fascinated about how this is all going to go this season because
same.
I think it's all new for all of us.
Yeah,
Um, what one last question because I'm like thinking through the logistics of this whole thing.
sure.
So Synchro 9 is 9 skaters. There
Yes.
are alternates, right?
Yes. You get 1 alternate officially on the roster. So
I
you'll
see.
show up to a competition with 10 officially rostered.
And so, as someone who has been on a synchro team, how do you think about like subbing in someone? Or is it literally just like if somebody's injured, they get subbed in, or if somebody's like not
No,
able to
not
skate?
necessarily. In that case, yes, absolutely.
Right, right, right.
You get subbed in and you work with your alternates on learning different positions in the program, so that
But
they
like,
can
are
adapt quickly.
but like,
Mhm.
are there like different combinations of teams that like, oh, tomorrow we're gonna go with this combination of teams. So sorry, skater 10, you're not gonna be able to skate, or like, how does that work?
Yeah, there are instances where you have, slightly different people in for at least in traditional Synchro short program, free program.
Oh wow.
I imagine it'll be the same for Synchro9. Like, there might be a skater who is stronger at a certain program or, at certain elements that are required rather than, another program. So, I think you'll see some variations depending.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think something that's interesting to note about Synchro9 that we haven't talked about yet is the format of the program. So we are off the traditional short program, free program formatting. We have Synchro9 will have 3 programs, which is a lot.
A figure skater's nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean I have to learn 3
You have to,
programs?
yeah, and coaches need to choreograph 3, which is another whole ball game. But it's following an ice dance type of structure. So the first program is a 3-minute 30 themed program, and the theme for this season and next season is going to be street dance. And it's meant to be fun, youthful, and modern. So we'll see how different teams around the world interpret what street dance is.
This brings me back to the nightmares of hip hop season during the ice
Right.
dance
Yeah.
years ago, where there were some really good ones, and then
Mhm.
there were a few that I was like, is this what we should be doing right now?
Mhm.
So I we'll see how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how people interpret those 2 words to be.
Yep, yep.
Um, the top teams from that, first round will go to round 2, which is, a BPM program, and that's 110 to 120 beats per minute program.
See, when you say BPM program, I think EDM program, and that
Okay.
becomes a whole different thing.
Not an EDM
Not
program
an
this
EDM
time,
program.
sorry. But you can probably find EDM music that's 120 beats per minute.
Probably.
And then I think the top 4 teams from that format will go into the championship round, which is essentially a free type of program. That's 3 minutes 30. So you have 2 3.5-minute programs and 1 2.5-minute program, which is the BPM program. So first day,
So you
elimination
have to do
rounds
2 programs in a
in 1
day.
day. Yes. Yes. The top teams will have to do 2 programs in 1 day.
This
Um,
this
and
really
the
take yeah.
and
This
then
really takes
the
me back to that one Grand Prix final in the early 2000s when they had to do 2 free programs, and it was the 2 free programs were in the same day.
Yeah, that's unfathomable to me at the moment,
Yeah.
but we're gonna have to get used to it,
Wow.
we'll have to coach our skaters to have a lot of stamina, throughout this day. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
My god.
Yeah.
Quadruple run-throughs. The format of competition for Synchro9 is going to be very different than
Mhm.
what we're all used to.
Mhm.
Um, and I have a chart in front of me that I'm trying to decipher, and you tell me how well I do at deciphering this chart.
Okay.
So, from what I can tell, you start off with a certain number of teams.
Mhm.
They are seeded based on world standings, and they're split into 2 groups. So there's a group A and a group B.
Mhm.
And those 2 groups will do their themed program
Yes.
and get scored
Correct.
for those programs. And then there'll
Yes.
be a top 4 in one group and top 4 in another group. And then you were telling me that the scores don't carry over. So
Yeah.
after that, you got your placements, and then based on those placements, you go into what are called challenge battles,
Yes. Yeah.
which is basically a bunch of synchro teams battling by element, and they're like 30 seconds per element.
Yes.
And you have to do 3 battles per team, and you do head-to-heads based
Head-to-heads.
on your placements.
Yes.
And then all of those then get added together, and whoever is in the top 2 in each group,
Yes.
based on those challenge battles, go into the next round.
That's right.
And in the next round, again, you clear all the scores and you
Mhm.
start fresh,
Mhm.
and you do your BPM program. And then the BPM battle then goes into the finals, and you figure out who then is battling for gold and who is then battling for bronze in the free skate.
Correct. Yes.
And then everybody skates a free skate.
Yes.
If you don't get into the semifinals, you
Yes.
then get to skate a free skate so that you can
Place.
place in that the bottom half or whatever that ends up being.
Yeah. Yep.
Did how well did
Sorry.
I do?
That was pretty good. It's very new and a little bit more complicated than we're used to, so,
You
it's
know,
hard to explain, but I think you did a good job.
now that we've done the World Cup,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
uh,
very
uh,
similar to that.
it feels very World Cuppy, right? It's a little bit of a tournament format,
Yes.
and you get these things that, to your point, makes the whole competition more dynamic because
Good.
it's like
Yeah.
you can you could be really good in the themed program,
Mhm.
and then if your head-to-head challenge battle is really terrible that one day,
Mhm.
doesn't matter if you're the top team from the themed program, you don't get to go to the final
Right.
rounds.
Right. It's high stakes. High
That's
stakes.
really
Yeah, each
interesting. I
round. Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like figure skating purists are gonna be like, "What is this thing
I
that's
know.
happening?" Um, but there's a very interesting element of dynamism and,
Mhm.
like, unpredictability that you don't really get in
Mm-mm.
figure skating right now
That's right.
because you do have cumulative scores, and you know that old saying, "You can't win the
Yeah.
competition in your short program,
Right.
but you certainly can lose it."
Right.
You can't win the competition in your short program at
Mm-mm.
all
At all.
here.
Yeah.
Um, you can lose it by not doing well in it, but you can also then lose the whole thing by not doing well in that battle round.
That's right.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch.
Uh, the logistics nerd in me is
Uh-huh.
really excited about this whole thing.
Okay. Of course you would be. Part of the reason the challenge battles were added was to give Synchro9 more airtime as well. Otherwise, for this upcoming Worlds, there's only gonna be 8 teams, and so the competition is over pretty quickly otherwise, and so this adds another exciting element,
I mean, we always
to the
talk
sport.
about We always talk about the Grand Prix being really cool because it's like, "Oh, it's 12 skaters, it's
Mm,
2 groups, 2 warm-up groups, and that's it." Like, you're
mhm.
bam, 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 you're done. Grand Prix final, it's like 1 warm-up group and you're done.
Right.
So there's a little bit of that excitement there. I do wonder, as this gets more popular
Mhm.
and more countries could potentially field teams and, maybe field good
Yeah,
teams, like, how's that gonna change the whole formatting of this whole thing? Because, you know, what if you had 40 teams? Like, how's that gonna work?
that's right.
We don't have that right now, so luxuries
I
of
think I think you'd be surprised how many countries are already starting to get in and participate, so, you know?
well, I will tell you, I'm lacing up my skates so I can go and become a synchro skater. No, I'm not doing that. That
I
would
think
be
it's
that
worth
would
a
be a
try, Jackie.
no, no, it really isn't because I would be a hazard to my teammates. Absolutely. The one thing we forgot to talk about was
Mhm.
the composition of genders on
Mhm.
the team. Synchro9 is only women
For now.
for now.
For the next 2 seasons, it'll be female only.
I'd imagine a lot of that has to do with Olympics and
Mhm.
being able to get it into the Olympics as a way for, frankly, the IOC to continue to kind of gender parity its sports, right? So that was probably the team of 9, and the gender thing was probably a fairly big prerequisite into just getting your foot in the door to become a sport.
Yes, that is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And I believe 2030 Olympics, the big headline that keeps coming out is it's the most gender equal,
Yeah.
Olympics ever. So, it's an exciting milestone. I think there's been some commentary, rightfully so, about excluding males, for the next 2 seasons, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
I mean, I would also imagine that as Synchro9 hopefully gets more popular and
Mhm.
it continues to be part of the Olympics, it's things will change, things will
Right.
evolve, as figure skating has been doing over the past
Yes.
few decades. So,
Yep.
excited to see how that goes. Well,
Yeah.
Cindy, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This is just the tip of the iceberg
Mhm.
of synchronized skating for now. I will hopefully have you on again
Yep.
um, at some point to talk more about how the season goes. I'm gonna have to sit next to you and watch Synchro, and you're gonna have to tell me things, and I'll be like, "What?" It'll be an interesting season for all of us.
Yeah, I think we're all excited to see how this sport evolves this season. So, thank you for having me on, Jackie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.